see what happens now. Match number 2. Pretty interesting to see the map from a very zoomed out perspective like that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Spend most of your time playing, you don't really get to see that perspective as well. Anyways, to our Protoss players, we have in the red going for double gas. What we do this game, we're going to find out soon. He is FX Oz. I really don't like how they say it. Oz in that. Sounds like a dog. Oz. In the bottom left starting location, we have very nice improv skills there, holding that rush. His ID is Squirtle.
I am really excited to see, Tasteless, how these players approach this map, because this is a map more than most where you can definitely see games that go up to 2 and 3 bases easily
absolutely.
unfold.
Well, the third base is not hard to require.
No, if you have the second base, the third base is also on a ramp, and I mean, when people start going Colossi and placing everything well, it can be pretty hard to break. But of course, a Zealot Colossus Archon timing is always hard to hold when you're trying to take a third Nexus.
Note he's checking the outside of his base right now. We do have sometimes players proxy gate. In fact, I think like we saw this actually a lot at the MLG, but people hiding pylons in each other's mains. And the previous week of GSL.
Yeah,
or people hiding gateways in each other's mains, doing stuff like that because people stopped scouting it. So you can see now that that happened last week, everybody's checking their mains again, and you know, the area right around the front of the main.
By the way, Oz's building placement, you might look at it and be like, hey, why is all that right there? That's because cannon rushes actually are pretty effective on this map, so he's just placing those in such a way that you would see that coming and easily be able to deflect it without having to send probes down periodically to scout for it. But, you know, if, for instance, Squirtle did some gut him contained in his base, and, you know, that would be a problem for Oz, because an observer could spot those buildings and be hard to actually defend them. So you don't see it all the time, but it can be useful, and it might mean that Oz is going to be doing a build where he's going to get map control so that he won't be stuck up in his base.
You know, it's interesting because, as you can see here, Oz pretty consistent throughout the entire game here, whether it's 9 minutes or 25 minutes. I mean, occasionally we have players where that drops down to like 23%, or it's at 100% for other parts. So it goes to show you he's a well-rounded player, or at least is going for well-rounded strats.
And we see the second gateway going down for Oz, which shows, there you go, he is going for that early map control with the 3-stalker rush, which is, I mean, there you go. That's what I said, Tasteless. I mean, he needs to have a little, this building placement points towards him wanting some early map control. It's too dangerous otherwise.
A good build on this map.
Yeah.
You think Oz is going to come back, Artosis?
Well, he could, but Squirtle's just been kicking ass lately, and I feel like Oz has been on the decline slightly. He's been one of my favorite Protosses for a very long time.
Was hyped up for a while, but then, you know, he's even in Final Four here at GSL, but yeah, I wouldn't say he's teetered off, but we haven't seen him do any mind-blowing have any mind-blowing accomplishments. Oh, now this is interesting. He could end up isolating the Stalker over here. Kind of an accidental little move there where it's going to put Squirtle in a nice position. But then again, 2 more Stalkers are going to come out right now.
He's actually going to get a flank on these, which is really good for him. He can totally out-micro these 2 units of Squirtle. And Squirtle's not actually going to get any intel.
He's going to go for probes, it looks like. Oh, as I say that. He could get a nice, actually.
Oz's micro just slightly off there for 1 second, taking maybe 1 more hit than he should have from the Zealot, but he'll clean this up very quickly and shouldn't lose too much. At most, maybe 1 more probe.
So nice there with the probe, just microing that out.
He just got 2 units basically for free.
Yeah, only losing a little bit of hit points on his Stalkers, but that's totally worth it.
Oh yeah, totally.
Squirtle going to go for Blink, it looks like.
Yep, definitely looking like it's going to be a Blink build here. In fact, he already has a proxy pylon. Of course, it could be a DT build, but you know, when you see that Sentry, normally it won't be. You're trying to defend a little bit differently than with Sentry Tech because it's so gas heavy.
And it looks like Oz is going to go ahead and try to get an expansion up over here.
Ooh, expansion plus Robo. So with that Robo, he's going to have to get out Immortals to help defend against these very scary Blink Stalkers. It's going to come down largely to a battle of micro. Now, don't forget, Squirtle does have that Sentry, so if he's having to walk up and down the ramp to micro to deny vision to Squirtle's Stalkers so that his Immortal can be very powerful, then Squirtle can force field it and perhaps get the Nexus. So that's going to be what that that single sentry, how that can really affect the game.
All right. Okay, now he sees the 4 sentries. That's a lot of sentries.
Yep.
For this early in PvP.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a good scout there by Oz.
They're going to be quite useful. I'm trying to hold this off. You can't lose any units in this situation.
Especially if you're going 4 sentries. Sentries are great for
Blink is about to be done. He might actually have to cancel that Nexus. I don't know that he can hold that. This is going to be hard. It's going to. Oh man, Oz going to lose extra stalkers. Yeah, at this point.
Oh man, this is bad. I think actually, yeah, and the Nexus finishes here. I mean, the game's not over necessarily. He has enough force fields. He can pretty much force field for a long time. You can see he puts an additional one down there to make sure that. That's it.
Indeed.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Unless you're blue. Well, he's not microing quite as well.
Well. I mean, yeah, he's going to have an Immortal pop out, which is nice, but that's a lot of Stalker stasis. Probes are coming down.
He just backs up.
Yeah.
Waiting for some more Stalkers here. He sees the probes are pulled. He says, that's fine, you're not minding.
There you go. Force field's that, just going to kill off a bunch of valuable stuff. Kill off that Nexus pretty easily. And that's a pretty big lead for Squirtle right there, Tasteless.
Another force field there. As you can see, that's it. GG Oz totally outclassed.
Well, Squirtle got him that time, man. You know, when you lose a Stalker and your other 2 look like they might be trapped, you have to assume they're going to be trapped because of the forward pylon. I feel like you have to cancel that Nexus and just play defense on the high ground and just be like, all right, you got me. I lost some extra units. When you do lose those units, man, you just can't hold it. If he had those 3 Stalkers with his army that whole time, he might hold. He might, but losing them,
the game probably would have gone on, but it's, you know, it's one of those things where if you're going to get a quick expansion like that, you can't also be running around the map, you know, if you don't know what he's doing. Because all it takes for him to catch a few units in the middle of the map, like we saw there, he lost, like, what, about 3 Stalkers?
Yeah.
Before the actual battle occurred. And, you know, that's a lot early on in PvP. PvP is very volatile, and every single unit counts. That's why you see these players, generally speaking, be so cautious when it comes to keeping every single unit alive, because if you lose a few like that, it doesn't really matter what you're doing. It's just it's a math equation now. One guy has more than the other.
Yeah. Well, all right. So it's going to be Squirtle against Maru. That's going to be a lot of fun because Squirtle's PvT is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
I enjoy to watch it. Well, I guess we're going to have to just throw to commercial so we can come back even quicker, Tasteless.
Yeah. That's actually not correct because if you knocked off the Korean stream, I was like,
yeah.
Actually, no. But I mean, there's really not much else to say, I guess, about that game. I mean, it was
pretty cut and dry.
I mean, if you want to learn anything from that game, if you're watching GSL to learn, keep all those units alive early on, because you lose 3 Stalkers like that and you're doing a fast expansion build, he's just going to kill you.
Yeah.
So we're going to take that quick 5-minute break, and when we get back, we're going to have we're going to have a PvT here, Maru against Squirtle here at the GSL Code S.